What's up, everybody? It's me again, and it's time to lead in, bitch. We're here for the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. Sammy and Chase are here with me today. Danny cannot be here, but the show will go on. Chase, how you doing? Can you hear me? Uh-oh.
I think
Uh-oh.
it's something wrong with my sound because you're moving, sounding like
Yeah, you hear me, Sammy?
this.
I can hear you.
You can?
Yeah.
When you Sammy say something, I think I'm gonna have to come out and come back in.
You're gonna have to do that. Sammy, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm ready to talk about this episode. This was a good episode.
I know. I hate that it dropped on, I mean,
On
obviously we
Thanksgiving.
knew Thanksgiving, people were at home, but we watched, so we'll talk about it in the group chat. So I'm excited to talk about it. Episode 5, Real Housewives of Ultimate Girls Trip, was it Stormy Waters? Really good episode. I've As you mentioned in the chat, you feel like everybody worked hard for their check. And I agree. I think they did everybody did well. It was a lot going on. It was given like how the housewives go on trips and everything just starts going crazy. I mean,
As soon as they get on the trip, everything falls apart.
this was that moment. Chase, can you hear us now?
Absolutely.
All right. Chase, how you doing? Me and Sammy were just talking about the episode like overall, but what were your thoughts?
I enjoyed it. I think I said last episode that it felt like something was about to happen, and oh baby,
Yeah.
did we get the big one this week? We did.
The first 3 were strong, and then 4 was like okay, and then it was fun. Then from 5, child, like we just said like they worked hard for their checks. But
Oh my
let's
goodness.
go ahead and get into it. Of course, I see people in the chat. I see hey Cassie, Sass K, Derek, Brandon, my boyfriend. Like who is this? Hey babe.
That's right. You better be in the chat.
It
That's
caught
what
me
I'm
off guard.
talking about.
I said, hey babe, and I said, oh hey babe. You know what? Anyway, before we get started, don't forget to like this video and subscribe if not already. If you haven't already, we did Potomac yesterday, and then we're going to be doing Salt Lake City's on Monday. So if you're watching Salt Lake City, what happened? It'll be on Mondays now because I need my Sunday fun day back. No shade. With that being said, let's get to the episode. So this episode is Kenya's day. I thought that it was like everybody gets a full day, but I guess they get an activity because this was Kenya's day / Melissa's day.
Teresa.
I mean, not Melissa. Yeah, Teresa. My bad, Teresa. And they go on another yacht trip. So they went on one boat trip earlier, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of repetitive. But I mean, it's only so much they can do. I think Chase, you said it like on this trip. Like I think somebody said they wish they were somewhere else because it's only so much they can do, especially in where are they in Turks and Caicos?
Turks and Caicos.
I mean, it's like going to any island. I mean, you usually have a boat day, you have an excursion day, but child, in this case, they got several boat days and all these other excursions or whatever. So basically, they talk. Last week we ended with the argument about cutting people off, and then they're on the boat, and in the conversation, it seems like they're trying to have another heart to heart or whatever. Who was it that was speaking specifically? I think it was it Cynthia that was talking initially?
One of the ladies was talking. I think Cynthia was mad because everybody kept.
Well, yeah, but who was the lady that was talking?
I think it was Teresa. Because
Melissa
Melissa made the comment. I already heard the story. Oh, it was Kyle.
Okay, that's
Kyle was saying something.
Exactly. So in that moment, Cynthia's been tripping.
Luanne was opening up. Maybe then I think
everybody was kind of speaking about something. And it started with this little. Well, no, that we ain't got to the game yet. So this is the first issue. And first, you have Melissa and Cynthia kind of going at it with each other. And honestly, I kind of wish Melissa wouldn't have backed down so easily, but Cynthia just kind of bombarded the room with her bad attitude. How do we feel
it's
about?
So bad.
It's so bad. This is like she just kind of sucks the fun out of everything. It's given like when you bring your mama or grandma on the trip with the young girls, or the trip got a chaperone. It's just not a good feeling. But I wouldn't hear y'all thoughts on that too.
Like I said in the chat, Cynthia is still upset with Kenya, and she's just being passive aggressive with everybody else. It started because I think Kyle was talking, and Melissa interrupted her, and Kenya had nerve to say, "Well, are you doing the Ramona?" And so that set Cynthia off. Like, basically, I know you're not trying to get on somebody for cutting somebody off when you did that to me the whole day. But she didn't say that. She went around saying, well, people been doing that this whole trip. And
yeah, Cynthia, she kind of pointed it at.
she
it was
generalized it versus just telling Kenya, you sound like a hypocrite right now. And from that, everybody was just looking at her like, girl, what the hell is wrong with you? And
I think, I'm sorry, Sam, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I think that it's a couple of things. Yes, and I know I mentioned it last week too. Baby, Cynthia is cranky. Ooh, you talk about wake up on the bad side of the wrong side of the bed every day on vacation. Like, oh, I can't wait this trip over. So it feels like not all the times, but on a lot of vacations when there's a big group, there's maybe like one or two bitches that you just like. You know what I mean? However, I tried to put myself in Cynthia's shoes. You are on a girls' trip with 5 of Bravo's most annoying personalities, right? And so although Cynthia is a wet blanket and she is cranky and, you know, just really aggressive about certain things on the trip, I think that when you're on a trip with Ramona for 5 days already, and Kenya for 5 days already, and Melissa's annoying ass for 5 days already, and Kyle's annoying ass for 5 days already, because they're so overthetop.com and you're not, it makes you like you crazy when everybody else is crazy. But because you're not crazy like everybody else thinks it's you. When no, I'm sitting there watching y'all are crazy. And so I actually kind of see it from Cynthia's point of view, but that doesn't mean that she's not a wet blanket and not ruining the trip. She is. So 2 things can be true at once.
Well, you said she like the sober friend amongst all the drunk friends at the party, and she watched him act the fool, and she just annoyed. But you know what, Chase, and you're right about their personalities. But from this trip, they're not giving me just draining, and they having fun and having a good time. And Cynthia is the one that's just coming off real, just ugh.
But do you think so? There's a comment from Alex, and he says Kenya switching up is why Cynthia is irritated. So irritated.
She definitely cold switched.
Do you think she is more so irritated than Kenya? Because at this point, she's obviously expressed how irritated she is with Kenya, that she thought that when they came in the trip, it was going to be Kenya and Cynthia. But they really ain't happening. And somebody even said that Kenya is trying to fit in with the white ladies.
Absolutely.
I don't agree with that.
I do.
I do
she
too.
Want them honkies to love her. Oh my God, I said I was not gonna say that word.
Oh my gosh. We're gonna bleep you from now.
Please don't put that on here. Oh my God.
This is live, baby.
Anyway,
but you know what? It seems like for me, Cynthia was the one that was trying to coddle towards the white women at first.
You think so?
Well, she actually has
Kenya still being Kenya,
like
even though, like for instance, when she was going around, did Ramona offend you? Did Ramona offend you? And Cynthia was just like, oh, huh? I don't remember. And then they showed a clip of her just saying a couple of days earlier how Ramona offended her.
I think she was the one.
Cynthia, in my opinion, is the one that is doing a lot of the switching up, and now they're just bouncing back off each other because now they're just irritated with one another. So now, each time somebody does something, they blow it up.
Well, I think it all started, like we said, back when Cynthia did not have Kenya's back in that moment. When she went and talked to Ramona, I think
she was over it.
That was just the point that it was like, that's it. It's over. I mean, they both clearly have not expressed or shown how, they don't really have, it's really showing like what their friendship is like, which is non-existent. I mean, I'm just saying, they've been saying for years that this relationship was for the show. I never really believed it, but I mean, now for them to fall out so quick at a show when they're like
over nothing.
It's not even like that deep. They've had so many bigger issues on the show. I feel like it's just weird to me.
I'm sad to see it too.
I feel that it is genuine, which is why they are so irritated and upset with one another.
Okay. Yeah. I can see that because I
really wouldn't give a damn if it was just, basically Luanne and Ramona, how y'all said they were there just because they're from the same show. They were just supposed. If it was more so like that, I don't think they would really care so much. Okay. Because they are really butthurt about the other one having friends.
Yeah, it's weird. It's getting weird.
It's getting weird. When they could just wrap this up, have the conversation, move on, and take over this show like I need them to do. I need them to be running over these hoes, and it's not happening.
And you know what's funny, from the preview it gave that it was going to be them two. I was not expecting them to spend this whole trip at each other. I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
Kenya is a friend to nobody. You ain't nobody's friend.
It's a lot of mixed feelings in the comments. I see people saying, it ain't really Team Kenya, Team Cynthia. It's just a matter of like, okay, some people feel like, okay, Cynthia is not good. I mean, because realistically, it's all these things. Watching Real Housewives of Atlanta, we hear about Scent, we hear about Kenya doing this, and like now I think it's all coming out. I mean, they just not the greater friends to each other. But I do wish Melissa had a kind of got into Cynthia a little bit, just because it's like, so somebody tell her like, girl, what's your problem?
No, it ain't Melissa.
Well, I wish, but that was a time for her to redeem herself, because we know she ain't buy much either.
Oh,
but I'm just saying, it was a time for her to be like, what's in your tight ass panties? Like, I
wish she would have. I'm gonna tell you one thing about me. It's Atlanta over everybody now. Hold up, swole up. Who you talking to, Miss Melissa?
Well, we know
she did that though. Cynthia really was gonna pop off.
No, because Ramona let her have it at the end. But you gonna talk about it?
And she was on her way there. Ramona kept going. She was on her way.
Ramona got up at the right time. We're gonna get there.
Yeah. Cynthia get to stuttering and not knowing what she want to say.
Cynthia gave her usual.
Hold on now.
And she
gets this when she gets doing this.
Well, she didn't get we didn't get that.
No.
Yeah, we didn't get that one. So then of course Kenya's day still on the yacht. Kenya has this game, and basically the game is for you. I think there's like different scenarios that she came up with based off the past or things people said, and she's gonna repeat them out or say them out, and then they have to guess like who said it. Basically, who said that? I think that's what it was actually called. And the game only has one round. I mean, it didn't really nothing. One damn round.
It was really good too.
First, Ramona couldn't guess, or at least unless she was faking. But then who got it right? Who got it right? Was it Melissa and Kyle?
Melissa and Kyle got it right.
They got it right. And from that point, child, it just all hell just breaks loose, because it becomes Ramona versus Luanne again. And Ramona expresses again how she felt about this Tom situation. And
I have to watch that episode, that season.
Yeah, I need to go back and see, because my personal opinion is Luanne needs to let it go. But I wouldn't hear y'all stop on this Tom situation and between Ramona versus Luanne, because Luanne got up. Oh, she was like, have a good friend. I was like, okay. So give me your thoughts on that before we talk about Kenya versus Ramona. Go ahead, Sammy.
You said me?
Yeah, go ahead.
It feels, well, first off, I wish they didn't pop off like that, because I want to see what the other questions were.
Right.
But Luanne, I feel like she had every right to. I mean, we're talking about this remark that you made and why you made it, and then as we trying to get through that, you whispered to Kyle, well, she fucked him on the first night. So, what the hell does that? What you mean? So I don't think it had anything to do with Luanne needing to let it go at that moment, but it was more so about Ramona. What was the point? What was the purpose of that remark? What was that comment for? Especially after she just got through saying, "I'm a girl's girl and I'm gonna look out for the girls," and the first thing she said was, "She fucked him on the first night." And he fucks everybody. So yeah, I would have been pissed off too if I was Luanne.
Okay. Yeah. And I want to say something real quick. This is a great comment. Actually, Danny is here in the comments. He says, Kenya introduced a game much shadier than Cynthia's after calling her shaded. Yeah. That is the I'm so glad it was said.
I didn't even think about that.
That game was way worse. But what the thing was with the name Who Said That, I think it sneaks in the shady. Because when you lead with, I didn't think Cynthia's game was bad, but I think because she gave them a little more than what they needed to know, then you know what I'm saying? She told them too much before they got into the game, and then they was like, oh no, not too pretty. But Kenya's game was definitely a lot worse, and it clearly caused way more issues than that little game about who's the prettiest and who's everything else.
But you know what else? Thinking about that, what Danny just said, it's mighty funny that how they knew what that game was finna do. They knew off the rip what that game was finna do, because it was comments that they had made about one another. So for them to not be all reserved and held back, versus when Cynthia was like, "We're gonna play this game," and Kyle lost her shit. She maybe because they had enough drinks or something. I don't know, but they were willing to play Kenya's game.
And Kyle's insecure.
That could have been it too.
That is definitely it. When she heard who's the prettiest, who's the most liked, Kyle has that need to be liked. Kyle has that need to be, and that's why she moves how she moves in Beverly Hills. So she won't outright say that I don't believe anything that Erica Girardi says But in that confessional, she'll allude to it and let other people around her say it, and so she can make goofy faces because she's insecure.
And that's
So
another
that
thing,
is
'cause y'all
why
know
she would shut that down. She shut that down.
I be trying to have Kyle's back, but looking at that now, for her to be so, oh, I don't want to play this game, but when they made the remark, we finna play this messy game of who said what, baby, Kyle was ready for that. She was. I think I know.
Well, you
Right.
know what? I would have loved for Cynthia said, not another shady game. I
Oh,
would
I
have
would have ate
loved.
it up. Oh, baby,
I would have. I would
we're
have said,
not playing it.
Cynthia.
We ain't even playing it. Come up with something else. Oh, baby, I would have ate that up, baby.
She
Not,
said
not
it in the
me.
confessional,
Not
but
in
she
that
didn't say,
moment.
she should have said it then.
And also something to think about too. A couple of things, but one of the things, other than what Danny brought up, which was great, is that I have it's so good, y'all. Hold on, wait. So we're playing. Who said that? I forgot. It was really good too. Dag on it. But oh yes. Now remember earlier, especially on the first review, we talked about, and you guys were like, "Oh, Ramona got up from the table when they were talking about Tom." Remember, I said it was best for her to get her ass up from the table and leave because if she stayed, she would have won the moment.
Yeah.
That's what you got. That's what you would have gotten episode 1 or 2 when they were talking about Tom. Ramona was going to say the same thing, and at that point, she was not drunk and was able to catch herself before she had like wrecked shop because we see what happened. She wrecked.
But let me ask you a
shop.
question. Since you know that more familiar than I guess myself and
Mhm.
Sammy, what is your opinion on the situation between them two and Tom? Because I haven't watched it, and personally, it just sounds to me like
That
I'm
Ramona
not.
was messing with Kyle. I mean, they both were messing with the man or
Well, no,
something. I
not
don't
that.
know.
Well, that's very clear, but it sounds like to me that Luanne is still holding on. How long ago was this? Like they still holding on to this?
This is like from season 8, 9, and 10. So she meets him in 8. She's engaged and married in 9, 10. They're divorcing, and so it was like a 3 season arc. But here's the thing: that relationship is very traumatic for her because she fell head over heels in love with him. The whole cast warned her against it, brought up facts that he was cheating on her. She married him anyway. So then they get divorced, and she has the big meltdown in Palm Springs where she gets arrested and is cussing out the police and slips out of the handcuffs and gets a mugshot and has to go through rehab and all those stuff and has a big mental breakdown surrounding that marriage. So anytime that is brought up, it is going to be a trigger for her because that is a big traumatic part of her life. And not only was it traumatic, it also played out in cameras in front of us, and you can go watch it now. So that's going to live on in infamy. Like that is a big deal. So that's why I think that it triggers her, and it's going to be a very long time before she gets over it, if she ever gets over it. I don't think she's ever going to get over that because it was really, really, really a low point in her life, to be honest with you.
Okay.
And Tom was dealing with one of the cast members, Sonia, allegedly
I've looked up that
Damn,
part.
Tom.
as an F buddy for
Well,
like 20
Tom,
years.
it's very clear that Tom was trash, and I feel like
Absolutely.
Ramona. It seems like she's trying to be that type of person, and be like, "No, girl, he ain't the one." But it's
Ramona
coming
went
out
on a
like,
date with him. So
well, I know, but I mean, in this
after
case, she also expressed that in this one, well, she fucked him on the first night. She's like, I'm jealous. I want to be as sexual as you.
no, she
So
don't. That
with
was a
her
cover
saying
up.
that, and then her also saying that Tom fucked everybody, does that mean he fucked her too? Like, was Tom and Ramona?
Listen, I don't know if Tom and
Last case
Ramona.
says Tom and Harry slept with all of them.
Oh, Harry Dubin is another one.
It's another
one. But see, here's the thing about Luann. You can't feel bad about Luann. You can't. It's hard to feel bad for Luann because
Yeah.
Harry was the ex-wife of Aviva, and Harry was messing around with Sonia for a very long time. And then one night, after one of their group events, Luann went home with Harry. So, and then Luann took and married Sonia's cut buddy for like 20 plus years. So it's kind of hard to feel bad for her, and that's where Ramona's coming from. We told you not to do it. You messy anyway. So,
Well,
oh
yeah,
well,
and
we tired of hearing about it.
that's why. Although her delivery is off, it sounds like Ramona was warning her. You know what I'm saying? And she did it. And I mean, people, you get that all the time. It happens. You got those people, but I mean, you got to learn for themselves. And I think Luann learned for herself in this moment. Clearly.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me pose a question to you both. You are with the guy or whoever you guys like, guys, women, whatever, whatever your thing is, your bag is. You're with your significant other, y'all together, y'all get married, y'all divorce. Your homegirl in the group is like out of town, and your ex and your homegirl in the same city, and your homegirl calls your ex to go to a party that your ex is throwing. Is that cool or is that not cool?
To go to the ex's party?
To call up the ex to get an invite to the party that your ex is throwing.
No.
Well,
No.
Ramona did that with Tom, so that's why I was asking.
I mean, I'm not defending Ramona. I'm just saying that in this situation, I like you said, I wish Luanne would I mean, it's kind of like you got to learn for yourself, and she learned for herself. Ramona's delivery is off. She probably don't even have the room, the leg to stand on to say it, but the message is clear. She was trying to warn her. It sounds like, and that's what I've gotten.
See, but maybe that's why it's so triggering for Luanne. And this makes sense. Like, if he's such this horrible person, then why are you just so okay with being around him, whether it's a party or whatever the case may be? If he's so bad and so date. Yeah, so maybe that makes sense.
Well, she could probably want him to, but so
that's what it feels like to me.
Well, I mean, it definitely gives that, and I mean that happens in reality too. Girls be like, "Oh, he ain't shit, he ain't this," but they'll go over there and give him a little head though. I mean, I'm just saying, people are trash.
What the dickhead know?
People is trash.
Oh my god, I'm at my mama's house. Oh my god.
Yeah, you are your mama's house.
I hope she hear
you. Okay, so then after that, after they little blow up or whatever, the girls are kind of trying to like get Ramona to stop. And Kenya, I think everybody kind of gives their own opinion, but Kenya, I don't know exactly what she said, but she was just like, basically like, that's wrong, that ain't right, like she needs to do this. And basically Ramona told her, Kenya, shut the fuck up. I mean, she basically did. And when she's like, don't talk to me like that, and she grabs her glass and she just like, cheers, bitch. Like, I don't give a fuck what you saying. And Kenya grabs her glass, knocks it out, and she has another cup too. I don't know. It was a plastic cup and a glass cup. But basically, the people are in uproar because they feel like that is out of Kenya's character. Afterwards, she basically is going on a whole rant about, you're not the queen, you're not this, like you think you're queen. And Cynthia basically comes over and is like, all right, Kenya, that's enough. She gets it. At this point, Kyle is clinging on for Ramona. Ramona did apologize in the moment, but she obviously was drunk. So I want to hear y'all thoughts on this scene in this moment. And yeah, I'm curious to hear.
Fuck Kyle.
Okay. So Kyle had one little part in this. What about the other two?
Well, I'm just saying, but it's definitely fuck Kyle. Sammy, you want to go? It's fuck Kyle though.
So it was out of character for Kenya for me. But I mean, like Cortez, you said the first time that she didn't check her hard enough. I think this time she probably overdid it as far as putting her hands on it, especially Kenya. Ever since the Portia tug, her whole thing was, you can't put your hands on people such and such. It wasn't as dramatic, but she still should not have touched the woman. But she tried to mix it or tried to correlate it with Mark was very dismissive to her and very disrespectful to her with his words, and that's why it was triggering. And it's like, that felt like a cop-out, Kenya. You didn't like the woman because she called you a bitch on the plane. You've been picking at her every day I've been in the house, and in this particular moment, you had just had enough. But I think she was more so really pissed off still from Cynthia when it was the whole, did Ramona come at you? And Cynthia had already just, well, she said, well, who did she offend? And that's when Ramona was like, girl, fuck you. And that's what she just,
that's what it was.
So she was already just fuming from that, and it just triggered over to Ramona, I think. And it probably really pissed off when Cynthia, now Cynthia, now you want to get active. No, Kenya, you're doing too much. But I was just trying to talk to you, trying to get you to have my back a little while ago. And then that I snapped, now you want to come over here and you're going to have Ramona's back once again. So maybe I think that's what Kenya was at.
I'm going to say this. One thing I don't like about with Kenya is that when she's upset with you, she wants everyone else to be upset with you. And in that moment, even though Cynthia may have had the issue, like you said, I don't remember when they went back to the whole damn thing, that wasn't even that big. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even that deep to where I would remember. I'd be like, oh, that did happen a few days ago. So in my opinion, I just feel like, Kenya know who to try that with. She's never done that with anybody on Atlanta. I'm not saying she's scared, but you have Nene throwing popcorn at the damn lady, and she just sat there unbothered. So if you were so unbothered from getting popcorn thrown at you, a lady raising her glass in front of you, basically dismissing you, should have not triggered you like that. I think at first I was like, okay, all right. But then when she just kept going and going and going, I'm curious to know, like, how long was that scene? It reminds me of how Wendy was constantly going in on Giselle. And it was just like, we get it. Like, you're upset, let it go. And so
I want an unedited version of that.
For me, it just became very cringy, to where it's just like, okay, this lady, she's not even a threat at this moment. She's being held for dear life. And it's like, not because she's scared or whatever it is, but the lady is not even really acknowledging what you said, but you're still going. I think she get it. Like Cynthia said, I think she gets it.
Here's
And
what.
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, well, here's what.
Mhm.
Um, I heard everything that y'all said about, the Cynthia and the Mark, and those are all cop outs. At the end of the day, I'm gonna tell you what I feel like it really was,
Mhm.
and I love everyone, so I want everyone to hear me and recognize that I love everyone, no matter what color you are. But it boiled down to ain't no white woman finna talk to me and do me like this because I gave her a pass and you're not gonna get a second one. And so when it comes to ain't no white woman gonna do me like this, it was given the reaction that everybody says. I mean, okay, it is not on the same level as as overt racism, but it is very microaggressive. The way that she speaks to Kenya, the way that she acts when she is the one antagonizing Kenya in the situations. What did he do? What did I do? Why did they all hate me? Da, 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 da. F you calling her a B so aggressively. I think that Kenya snapped because ain't no white woman finna talk to me like this. I am sorry. I am sorry. It's not gonna happen. Watch your language. This is not 19 blue, 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 blue. This ain't 18 blue, 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 blue. You don't have no slaves on this boat. You better watch your mouth. I let you slide on that plane, but I'm not going to let you slide on my yacht. You know how Kenya feel about my yacht? Because if you don't like it, Shamia, you can leave. Captain, I want her escorted off of my boat. So you already on Kenya
Well,
yacht.
she
You
did
think
that
you
this
better do
time
your big
too.
one?
I'm so tired of her trying to get folks off boats.
Well, you know what I'm saying? You
I
already
mean,
know she can
it
buy a
is
boat, child.
so it's so late to me. It's so late. Like, get off my boat.
But
Like, really, it's not your damn boat. I'm sure the production
but
paid. It
do
It's
you
a
doesn't
get
make
what
rich
I'm
bitch
saying?
yacht. Y'all heard that, lady.
Hey, do you get what I'm saying? Like, I honestly really feel like that was what it was, but she's not going to outright say that. So in Atlanta, when Portia's yanking her by the hair and Nene is spitting and throwing stuff at her, I think that her mindset is, I'm going to get this bitch off the show. Because before Portia dragged her, what did she say to Portia? Do it and get fired.
Get
well, yeah,
fired.
get
Get
fired.
I'm
fired.
just saying, or like when Nene was doing all that spitting and stuff, she went on the press tour. She's unstable. I don't want to be around her anymore. There's nothing left for her on this show. Da, da,
But
da,
what is
da.
Kenya
She
right
was,
now?
well, I'm just saying she was on a campaign to get that lady fired for these things. I think that she recognizes we're on a trip. I can't necessarily get her fired from this trip. And again, she lost it. I no tea, no shade. Ramona would have said that to me, I would have lost it.
But it wasn't what she didn't lose it because of the word. She lost it because she lost it because when she tried to come at her in the way of don't talk to me like that, Ramona was like, girl. And I don't honestly, I understand it's an old white lady, but at the end of the day, I mean, to me, Ramona won that because she let her get on her skin. Can you let her get on the skin? it's it's very interesting to see her go on this whole all these years about not getting physical and stuff like that. And then the first thing you do when somebody is basically like, girl, whatever, bye. If she had said, yeah, fuck you too, if she had kept doing it, but after that first one, Ramona was like, girl, get my
She had
drink.
already got a pass, Cortez. You call me that hard B on that
Okay,
jet, baby.
I
That's
agree.
it.
And
Games is
and
off.
and that's very true. But I just feel like in this moment, then you should have grabbed her on the plane. 2 days later, if she didn't even, it was, I'll fuck you. Because at
But
the
she
end of the day,
did
like,
say,
if Kenya had been minding her business and not got involved in that situation, even though she don't like Ramona, she could have kept her comments herself and be like, you know what, I don't want no issue. I'm not gonna say nothing. She had to get involved. And the lady said, I'm not supporting Ramona, but I just feel like in this moment, Kenya needs to just like sometimes her antics, she can't be surprised how people react. Everybody's not gonna be like kissing her ass and just some people say fuck you, Kenya. Because I was saying,
so let me ask you, Dad, I wish you guys knew. Okay. Do I think Ramona would have had the same reaction with anybody?
Yeah.
Probably.
right.
It just feels like
Yeah.
the way that she says it when it comes to Kenya is what feels microaggressive to me. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I don't know. Maybe it's in the tone of which she uses her words when they're directed at Kenya. I'm not here for it. And it's not because I like Kenya. I do not like Kenya. It's just because I don't like nobody talking to people any kind of way when it comes to
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Like I just feel like the way that she was saying some of those things on the jet, on the yacht, throughout the episode, And then all of a sudden it's, well, why are you picking on me? Why do they hate me? Bitch, you know good goddamn well why don't nobody like you. Stop it.
Any last thoughts on this moment? Because after that, Ramona, they basically give Ramona to they try to get Ramona to talk to Kenya, but Kenya's like,
Kyle.
I mean Kaya. Kyle
No, I'm saying Kyle. I meant to say
Kyle producing ass try to get Ramona to talk to Kenya. Kenya's like, no. So she goes over to Luanne and basically again reiterates that she's so happy, so jealous of her for being so sexual, and
a
basically
lie.
reiterates that I told you not to marry him. And I was like, man, this is hilarious.
She means it. That's what she means.
I
She
can't.
means it.
Hey, I can't.
And that's
do it.
okay. I agree. I agree with
Yeah.
Ramona when it comes to that.
And it was
I actually agree
it
with
was
Ramona.
good TV. Like she was basically like, look, I don't know what y'all want from me. This is how
Yeah.
I
I'm
feel.
sorry, but I meant what I said.
Yeah. Right.
Listen, what do we think about Richards being? What do we think about Val being the Ramona whisperer? Like, do you believe that like people's friends are an extension of them? Like, why is she so enamored by Ramona? You know, there's alleged history of her mother, Big K, being a big fat nasty racist. Allegedly,
Who?
Kyle's mom, Kathy, Big Kathy,
Oh.
being really nasty and racist, allegedly. I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't read it in the books, but that's just what people have said over the years. So why is she so enamored? Why is she so willing to take up for Ramona? Why is she so joined at the hip with this woman if you don't agree with any of her views? How do you guys move forward in friendships like that with friends that you have? You know, like do you like still agree or like you still support your friend or?
I mean, they're not really friends.
So why is she so willing to be the Ramona whisperer?
Because Kyle is a producer. That's why. And Kyle she knows what to do. It ain't work on Kenya. She got to find somebody to that she can produce. And Ramona is clearly loony, so she can kind of get her to do more things. It ain't gonna happen to Kenya. Cynthia, the other ladies, honestly, I think are all pretty too. I mean, it may happen with Luanne, but Luanne and Ramona are only two people she can kind of. I think you should go do this, and it's not working nobody else. Manipulate. Sorry, and yeah. That's just my only thing on it. I don't think they're not even really friends. They don't hang out. They're not castmates. They're just on this show. They may have talked at BravoCon.
You know what's funny in that whole thing? Teresa had me hollering because she was like, I don't care about that, but you're not gonna talk about Luanne like that. She was like, I don't really know what Kenya got going on. But
Teresa
Luanne,
was upset because Teresa was thinking back to her friends' experiences, how her friends threw her under the bus and blurting out.
She got to get that out, Cortez.
She got to hollering, you don't tell her your secret. And Melissa, you don't tell her any secrets. I said, oh, she's pissed.
She was going back, baby. She was going back.
I think that this show might, because I know a lot of people did not like Teresa back then, but I always wrote out with Teresa. I felt like Caroline and Jacqueline did her dirty for no real reason.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm glad she was Jacqueline. You can tell she was thinking back to Jacqueline. That's all she was.
And I'm glad that they let her explain her side. Finally, like really get it out what she really thought. Show those clips or whatever, because it shows to me that at the end of the day, she's a girl's girl. She probably would have never fell out with Danielle if Danielle didn't go blabbing that Teresa was the one who told her to pull Marge's ponytail. Like they would still be cool if it wasn't for that. I think so. I think that I just like that Teresa's a girl's girl. I love seeing the side of her.
Okay, so let's move on to we're getting to a Sasuke, I promise. So this is
hold on, Sasuke. Now we like you, but get your
she's not rushing. She's not rushing. We are spending a little more time on other topics that ain't part of the episode. So let's move on. So Teresa's night was I like how I think it was Kyle or somebody said, what's it called? Spaghetti and meatball night. What she said? She said something like that. It was kind of shady to me. But basically she's preparing dinner. Ramona's like still drunk from earlier. That's a real thing. Because if you go on a boat and that drinking on that boat lingers throughout the whole day unless you go to sleep. And it looks like Ramona didn't go to sleep. So live for it. In this moment, you find out that basically how the glam works. We've always seen the Housewives kind of be done up, but we've never really seen them and like how their schedule of glam is scheduled. So it seems like the house guy, the house guest, the housekeeper is basically like saying, Ramona, it's Ramona's turn for glam. Ramona don't want glam. She said she's supposed to have been there, I guess 30 minutes before that. She wants some meatballs or whatever, that chicken parm or whatever it is ahead of time. And so they basically, it's a whole little situation going on right now, which is like you see Ramona going back up and down, and she can't find her phone, and she's trying to. The girl is like asking for her money. It's a whole lot going on.
Her microphone was in her panties. She said
it was a whole lot going on. But when they get to the table, the first thing is Teresa welcomes everybody and kind of gives a little appreciation speech to everybody. And she's to Luann, she says that basically she is a pushover. She's a pushover. The exact word that Sasuke said.
She said she felt like she had no backbone.
Yeah, no backbone. She has no backbone. And so it kind of, Luann is like, backbone? I don't feel like I have no backbone. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. And so Teresa kind of explains it, and that's that on there. Then later on, it comes back, because we're skipping around. It comes back up that Luann is like, well, I just want to know more about this, not me having a backbone. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, because honestly, I'm Team Teresa here. Sorry, Luann. But I was like, oh my God, what is Teresa about to say? What's about to do? That's just my opinion. But what's y'all thoughts on this? Between the backbone and Luann and Teresa.
So first, that moment going from the boat when she hopped up in Ramona's face, Luann, and then here at the table, I'm starting to see like she's not so chill or so calm like how she's been this whole trip. She got a little spice to her, but Teresa was trying to have her back. Maybe she got offended. Maybe Teresa said it wrong, so it made her sound like a punk, or made her feel like a punk, and she wanted to clear it up at the table. But I don't think Teresa meant it in a way like that. But when she started going at Teresa, like, I just want to get, a better understanding, and you don't know me well enough to say I don't have a backbone. And Teresa was just like, oh, okay, well, I'm sorry, I was just trying to have your back. I was shocked because I was looking for New Jersey Teresa to come at the table.
Me too.
And she kind of she scaled back, and I was like, oh, okay. But I feel like it's gonna roll over into something else. At least I'm hoping it. I want to see that Teresa just a little.
I think Teresa's going to talk about it more because she's going to be more surprised that she would come at her when she thought, and I think she meant so well with it, but choice of words. I mean, not saying that if somebody here they got no backbone, it's just like, man, ain't got no backbone,
I just think I think Luann knew what Teresa was trying to say. I don't think she should have been.
I don't think so.
She came at her the way she did. But you know how Teresa is. She a little delayed. So my girl gonna go to sleep. Tomorrow she gonna wake up and be like, wait a minute. Right. There's gonna be some trouble in that house.
Right. Chase.
She's very delayed because when Luann was talking to her, you could tell she was like,
it was just like the damn engine was spinning, baby. The screws.
She was like this.
I think she just really didn't. She couldn't believe that in this moment she was kind of like making it a thing.
Yeah. That's Luann. You need to be mad at Ramona. I would say, listen, you ain't mad at me. You were mad at Ramona because Ramona tried you. I was trying to have your back. You ain't like what I said. I apologize. I didn't mean it that way. I just want you to stand up more for yourself when it comes to her. And because when it comes to Ramona at this point in their like friendship on the show, she just doesn't react anymore. As opposed to like the first couple of years, Luann always reacted and always had something to say and really was nasty to Ramona when she wanted to be. You know what I mean? Now she just is Ramona, so whatever. But for people who don't know that and are watching, it's like, girl, you ain't got nothing to say. She talking about you fucking on the first night. You ain't got nothing to say about it. So I think that Luann definitely could have been a lot more graceful towards Teresa when you recognize what her words were intending to say. That was not what she, how Luann took it.
I think they'll get to that point where she can kind of, they can have a one-on-one maybe to talk about it because
hope they have a fight first.
Well, the fight is gonna happen. I wish Melissa was like, "What are you fucking kidding me? Like, what do you mean?"
I really thought Teresa was gonna lose it.
That's what I was looking for.
But not on Luann though. No, not on Luann.
Because she genuinely likes Luann. You can tell she's like
that, and that's why she kind of was just like, "Oh, I didn't mean to offend you, but it's gonna come back to her."
Because Luann doesn't let stuff go easily, as you see about time. So we probably have not heard the last of this.
Right. So then Cynthia, now in season 7, when Cynthia first got her first voice, she was trying to get this story out and talk about she was talking to Phaedra. So in this moment, it reminded me of that scene when she was trying to get the story out about the makeup artist. She was just like, so Ramona, I'm like, Cynthia, get it out. I don't know why Cynthia she can never clear the fucking air right. It's always she stutters, she gets frustrated. I don't know if she's scared, but in this moment, She basically the issue happened with the makeup artist is that Ramona was late for hers, and not only was she late, but she was supposed to pay the makeup artist. The makeup artist was allegedly waiting on her to get paid, which took up the time from Cynthia's makeup. Danny said she should have been worried a lot more about who put the clothes in her suitcase than her makeup, but her makeup, because again,
Danny.
I am tired of Cynthia and these Fuji, fortune teller outfits. Yeah, it's too much. I'm sorry. Everything looks
Well, you
like
ain't got to worry about it no more.
She is on her island vibe, y'all.
that ain't island, baby. No.
Well,
I'd have been a lot of islands. I ain't never seen that look. But
Flea Market Island.
and I see people in the comments saying like, "Do your own makeup." Like, why do they need glam? Y'all know Housewives are extra.
okay,
glam.
You know,
go ahead.
That is actually very funny how they both hypocrited each other in this episode, because Cynthia was late to Teresa's dinner because she was getting her stuff done.
But she was not late at her own will. She was late because Ramona was being an asshole. So that's different.
Well, but Ramona says
allegedly
that she had paid her or something like that, or if for it was I was confused. One end, Ramona was saying that the girl didn't need to be paid because she wasn't getting the service. Then it sounded like she said she paid. So I was a little confused on the whole thing, but they had a whole moment back and forth. And Cynthia was very strong in saying that the makeup artist was waiting on you to pay her. And because, and I mean, they showed the little clips of the girl waiting. It could have been the same clip repeated 1,000 times. But I'm just saying, we don't know. So what do y'all think about this moment? I was surprised that Cynthia brought it up, but maybe a part of me feels like she brought it up because maybe she want to show some kind of loyalty to Kenya that she also don't like Ramona. now, all of a sudden, that's just me. But go ahead, Chase.
I think that Cynthia brought it up because Ramona's actions finally affected her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't say nothing when you was over here with my dog Kenya. I ain't say nothing when you was messing with Luanne, but now you fucking with me.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And so now we got an issue. It takes people sometimes, like, they doing it to everybody else, and now it gets to you, and now you've learned your lesson. So now I guess she's been initiated into the Ramona coaster or whatever. But Ramona was definitely dead wrong, as she normally and usually is. And I'm over it. I know y'all are new to it, but I'm sick of it. Like, I'm so done with watching Ramona be a horrible human being. I mean, her getting drunk and eating, that was entertaining because it's like I could so relate to that. All of us kids, why we be drunk and be hungry. But other than that, I'm over Ramona. So
there's a comment from Danny. He says, the more I think about it, it doesn't make sense. Why couldn't the girl go do Cynthia's makeup and then go back to Ramona? They're in the same house. It's almost like, to me,
she said she wanted her money before she left.
She wanted her money.
I mean, I get that.
But when you go to other places, they don't, that's their money. That is their bread and their butter. You know what I'm saying? I need my paper. I'm not leaving without my paper. We saw that with Married to Medicine and Anila. Anila wasn't trying to pay them fucking people. Some people wanted their money. You get what I'm saying? So.
And you know what? The makeup artist probably was frustrated too, because at first I was on Ramona's side because she was like, she's supposed to be here at 6, it's 7:30. So I'm thinking, damn, I wouldn't have late. But when she went in the room, you heard her and the girl's conversation, and she was like, well, I text you. And Ramona was like, why did you get a text? And then she started running around the house looking for her phone. So that damn girl texts Ramona drunk ass, and it's Ramona's fault.
It seemed
so
like
that's why that girl was like, I'm not leaving till you give me my damn money. I already couldn't get a hold of you earlier. And yeah, y'all in the same house on the same island, but you didn't have me sitting here waiting an hour and a half. Give me my damn money so I can go ahead and do my next.
It's given that Ramona hasn't paid her for much of anything, to be honest with you. If she was so adamant about receiving pay on the 5th day, like, what's up? You ain't paid me for day 3 or 4. You're not getting out of day 5. I want my money.
That could be it too.
You think she was doing glam the whole week?
She said that's her girl who comes and does it, and at this time, I don't know what the glam schedule was. Mama's one of her coins.
Is that I'm confused on why Ramona and Cynthia sharing the same glam girl. I mean, ooh, that's an insult. I'm just saying. Cynthia girl, them chicks.
Well, she did say that hers was another girl, and Cynthia said they just worked together or something. But from the way Ramona and Cynthia's conversation was going, you could tell that Ramona was more so saying like, "I'm not paying that damn girl," and that's probably why the makeup artist. That's why she did. That's probably why she didn't leave, because she was getting that vibe from Ramona, like, this woman don't want to pay me.
But if it's another girl, why couldn't the other girl be already starting on Cynthia's face while the other girl get the money?
She said she went there or something. That's why the girl was doing both of them. That's what got confusing to me. Because she's like, she works under my makeup artist.
The girl who was supposed to do Cynthia's slide, they each had their own woman, but because one of the girls did not show up for work today or couldn't work that day, they were going to share the same makeup artist, and they were booked back to back. So the initial plan was to do Ramona's at that 6:30 slot or whatever it was, and then go do Cynthia's. But Ramona held everything up because that girl said she was not coming. There might have been a fee like, okay, you're not getting your face done, but you booked me, so I need like half of the fee for the face. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm not leaving until I get my money. So what's up?
It was a lot. It was a lot, child. It was just like, oh Lord, this lady ain't paying for it. This lady late, her cheekbones ain't done, whatever it is. I was just like, this is too much.
And why should Cynthia have to do her own makeup because Ramona's inconveniencing her?
No, I don't
think.
I think it's definitely she was definitely wrong for that. I mean,
now I will say, and I don't mean to cut you off, Cortez, but if I were Cynthia, okay, now look, what the hell going on? We in the same house. I'm gonna go find this damn girl my damn self, because what are we doing? And at that, they could have squashed that right then and there. I'm not finna sit around and wait for her to show up. If I'm sitting here, she's supposed to be here at 7:30, and we 8 o'clock now. Where the hell is this girl at?
That girl, to me, honestly, that girl should have started on that lady's face and got that damn money. I mean, it's a whole show. Ramona wouldn't have gotten that far. I'm
Shit.
just
Ramona was telling Cynthia, "I'm not paying that damn girl. It's just $100. Well, bill me. Send me a bill." Ramona would have made money. She probably still left the island and they pay that damn.
Do you think that Cynthia would have been responsible if she hadn't got the money from her?
No, but she probably would have felt responsible, because this is my girl. I brought her here and I loaned her to you because you didn't have an option. So now she didn't get a job, or she used her time and didn't get paid for it. So I think Cynthia would have felt responsible, and that's why she was so upset with Ramona.
SK said New York City does not do glam, so Ramona is not used to it. Ramona didn't even. I mean,
what the hell was she gonna do to Ramona?
I don't know what she was gonna. I mean, it's just like she could have probably did her hair. She probably could have gave her hair. Her hair was looking real. I just got out the pool, and that's
been looking like that since episode 1.
Right. So I thought she was already glam. If they had never said she was not glam, I would have thought she was already glam. I mean,
yeah, she thought she was already glam. You heard she told what's his name, Michael? Don't I look good? Look at me. What's wrong?
Right. I mean, I don't think
she thought she was glam,
but I thought she looked very Ramona glam.
Yeah. What did Dennis say? Ramona doesn't even have much face. I'm not reading that.
Should have took 15 minutes.
Not all she needed was a little powder and a little rouge.
Y'all ate Ramona up down to this thing this evening. She deserves it.
Yeah, well, I'm just letting people know I am not team Ramona. I do enjoy her though.
She was very enjoyable this episode.
Oh, y'all are horrible people. I'm sorry.
Said Ramona still looked dirty. She did. She looked like she had just came from the water. I mean. Like
Ramona looked like she was enjoying her damn self, and she was worried about
that. And that's the thing that I do. I mean, she did like she just came from the boat. Let me throw this dress on and get more drinks. Like, okay, girl, I ain't taking no shower. I mean,
let's see. The problem with Ramona is that her enjoyment normally comes at the expense of someone else.
Yeah.
Luanne, we saw it at Luanne. We saw it with Kenya. We're seeing it with Cynthia. So that is the problem.
Yeah. Kenya stormed off. She left the table. I was like, okay, girl. And this is when Kyle goes to get her. And Kenya, it's fun. This is what Kyle said it. She was like, we don't want to offend Teresa her meatball dinner. Let's go. Like, not the meatball dinner. And of course, Cynthia and Ramona have that back and forth. Ramona leaves off. Personally, I thought Cynthia would have got a little bit because Ramona was really yelling. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't saying, Cynthia had to like grab the lady, but she could have been like, look, don't talk to me like that. Lower your voice. That's it. But she ain't do that, child. Cynthia did her same little, when she's like this, she look away. I'm like, all right.
But I kind of like that Cynthia kind of kept her cool because at the end of the day, she ran this thing off from the table. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
You think
I can't even say she ran Ramona off from the table. Ramona was just tired of them hoes. She was just like, you know what? Y'all boring. Y'all ain't got shit else to talk about.
Although she is wrong in like 85, 90% of everything, I'm sure it must be draining because in her head she's doing nothing wrong. She's having a good time, right?
She's having a blast.
And right, and that's what I like to see. I like to see her, everybody getting dressed. She down there drinking and eating the food. That's the type of person I am on vacation. I'm gonna shower first, but I'm just saying, like, I want to when I'm drunk, I want to keep going. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to lay down and do other stuff like that. So I like the energy, but it must be draining to constantly be into it with everybody having an issue, especially when you think you're doing no wrong. Because she thinks she is just not doing anything wrong, and that's the terrible part. No awareness, honey. No self-awareness.
Trying to charge my phone up.
Huh? So I'm gonna go ahead.
I think my favorite scene of this episode where Ramona was on that boat when Luanne ran in her face and said, "What did you say?" Or Ramona say, "I don't know. I don't think I said anything."
I didn't say anything. No, nothing.
And I say I fell out at work. Like Ramona was drunk and having a blast, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I just sent the link to the chat where we can take a few callers today because we basically talked about everything. It's a good episode. And I mean, they only have 3 more episodes, I believe. Oh,
good. Give me the season 2.
Yeah,
well,
I'm ready for that.
It ends when I think when the Miami show comes on. So Real Housewives of Miami,
December 16th.
That's on Thursdays as well, and I think it's that's the last
last one of this.
Yeah, I believe. Is it 3 weeks? Yeah, that's 3 weeks. Yeah.
I will say though.
Yeah.
This feels like again what Housewives should be.
Yeah.
They have consistently hit the mark. Even the down episode was entertaining to a degree. And with the trailer from Miami, it's crazy that Peacock is getting Housewives right. And Bravo is just, I don't know what's going on.
Send Atlanta down to Peacock. See if we can get going.
Oh, that'd be such a fall from grace.
I never got it, but I mean,
I don't know who's producing
they
this.
Still advertise these shows on Bravo. Like they're on their sites. Like they're on the site. So like if you go to Bravo TV, it's on there, but they're just not airing on Bravo. I don't know. It's interesting. And I don't know, like if so you got Orange County coming like next week, I believe. Then you have that's on Bravo. Then you have Miami. So Married to Medicine should be coming up fairly soon.
Mm-hmm.
Jersey is done. They should be coming up fairly soon. And then Atlanta.
I'm not looking forward to Atlanta.
York is taking a break. Dallas is gone. Potomac just finished, so that's a while. Beverly Hills is filming. They probably won't come back to the summer. I mean, it's gonna probably go in that order. So let me let the first person on, and the first person is.
Do y'all think if Miami does well enough on Peacock, Bravo gonna pick it back up?
Are about the same. Okay, so
I think that they'll probably air the episodes on the network, but I don't think they're
talking Bravo owned by the same holding company. Okay, so that makes. I'm like
NBC. Yes.
Thank you, babe. All right, so the first person is Kyra, and hey, Kyra, welcome to the lane.
Hi, everyone. I didn't know I was going to be first.
How you doing?
I'm well. I don't know if I'm actually entertained watching Ramona because I am an Aquarius like Kenya. I would want to throttle Ramona. I don't see how she is entertaining being able to walk around and just continuously insult everyone and then act oblivious that you don't know what you're doing. Like she's very aware of who she is and how she operates. So I think I would lose it too. Especially since you don't know me, and because I think she's probably a good point of just kind of like it's interesting because I'm 24, so I watched like NYC when it first came out, and I kind of like fell back because they were a little older for me. But it's interesting watching how the White Housewives are able to operate, especially like the villains of the show versus when we see like the Black cast and the villains of the shows, how they are clearly the villain. No one really is ever really entertained by them. No one's trying to like talk them into apologizing or coddling them into apologizing. So it's just interesting to me to watch all these women, because even Cynthia did it earlier in the series of like coddling Ramona to apologize to everyone after she's insulted everyone.
Yeah,
that's a good point, because normally had it been Kenya doing this, the girls would be pissed. They wouldn't want anything to do with her. I'm not, so you have a great point. Why does Ramona get such grace From the ladies, and
Yeah.
she deserves none.
And then like her dirty little fingers, like
This is
Teresa,
great.
Teresa was raised right. Teresa got on those gloves and she was ready to cook. Her hair was pulled back. She changed her clothes. She was ready. And then Ramona looking dirty with that blue string in her hair, her dirty little fingers that I know she didn't wash, over there
Oh,
asking to pick things out and touching glasses and touching bottles and stuff. And so for me personally, I wasn't confused in the sense of, because nowadays also some people do have like two people working on someone's face at the same time. So it wouldn't be crazy if like two people are like were generally waiting, especially if someone was more of an apprentice or like underneath someone else and they're the assistant. You went to the assistant to go work on someone else's face by themselves. Because that's what Cynthia said. Cynthia said, well, my girl was underneath your girl. And so I'm just like, how do you have an appointment and you don't have your phone on you and you're not in the space that you're supposed to be? Because for me personally, as the makeup artist, I wouldn't feel comfortable walking around the house looking for my client. I don't know how you would expect that, especially like on like a nation island. My mom's Jamaican. I just wouldn't expect for no island person to be like, oh, I'm here. I'm just gonna walk around the house looking for my client. No.
So, Kyra, did you say you are a makeup artist?
No. I'm saying, well, I like makeup. I'm saying in general, there is a practice of having two makeup artists, or you have an assistant. Like the main makeup artist will have an assistant. You wouldn't send your, because Cynthia said that her makeup girl was underneath
she did say
Ramona's.
that.
So there was two people. So you wouldn't send the person underneath someone to go send out someone's face by themselves, especially for a TV show. The main person would still be there.
Okay.
That's true.
I don't know. I feel like in that case, Ramona, after knowing that the lady did text her and was waiting for her, Ramona was the one out of pocket. So she should have paid her fee or whatever it was and went on about her business.
In her mind,
just trying to clarify.
It sounds like she felt like she didn't need to pay because she didn't get the service because the girl was late. That's what seems to be ringing in her head. But clearly, it seems to be a lie. The stylist said she texted her and she said that she didn't. She was like, "Oh, so it was one of those things like she couldn't find her phone. She didn't even see the message." I mean, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah,
And
Ramona just didn't want to pay that lady.
if Ramona really wanted glam, she would have been looking for it. Okay, she wasn't looking for it. At 6 o'clock, she would have been like, "Where's my glam?" So she.
I would even say that because remember for the tennis appointment, she wanted her 40 minutes and she was gracious to give 20 minutes, and then she was walking around for 20 minutes looking for the tennis court.
Right.
So I don't know if she's a bumbling idiot.
That was good TV.
Looking dirty. She wanted to go looking dirty.
And I don't understand, but Cynthia, I'm a girl. If you're going to buck up. What is all the side glancing and not looking directly? And the fact that Ramona raised her voice, I was like, are you serious? Are you serious, Cynthia?
She couldn't even. It's like, Cynthia, you've had so many seasons to learn how to clear the air or put it all out on the table. She don't know how to put it on the table. She still don't know how to address anybody. It's just like, Cynthia, where's the growth? And this is Ramona. I mean, come on now. Like, you stuttering for
it. She did not run Ramona off. Ramona was just like, oh, the white woman in me does not like being here for this responsibility.
You said what, Chase?
Ramona need to get her ass cussed out.
Oh no, she definitely does. But Ramona, one of them girls that you cuss her out, it's just like it's gonna fly over her head that you cussed her out. It's
Clint, like it's been happening.
It's like nothing really phases or gets to her. I mean, she had a whole glass thrown and she was still talking shit. It's always just like you gotta just look.
But you know what? I think Cynthia is in a lose situation. She can buck up and cuss you out. When she went head to head with Nene, it was, she finally got a backbone. She's quiet or not aggressive enough with Ramona. It's like, you let Ramona get you. Cynthia's going to lose regardless of how she responds. So, I mean, if her thing is going to be just to sit there and be, I guess, passive in her approach, but still try to be direct, I can't be mad at her because regardless of what she does, it ain't going to be enough for the viewers at this point.
No, because we saw 50 Cent.
You know she's definitely capable, honey.
She can get it together now, because baby, she was eating up and down.
But it's not really received by us anymore. Like it's just it's her trying to have a backbone versus that's just who she is as her character.
No, I don't think so. I think she's very aware of her 50 Cent, and I think we all have our representatives, and I think your representatives can still be a part of your true self, but there's always like your shadow side that you hide away. And part of that is what she said with Mike of not having her tone and all that kind of stuff when you saw that come out in Kenya. And this is, I think she tries to stop herself from being that way in confrontation. And then so she works really hard at not being that way. And that's when it comes off like, come on, girl.
Yeah, and that's why I say I can't be mad if that's gonna be her approach. If she's trying to really make herself not look like a fool, I ain't mad at that.
Girl, if anything, if she wanted, I mean, she looking like a fool, but it's not the good food. In this last, I would have been acting a fool, be like, you know what? Maybe they should keep me. But girl, the thing is, Cynthia has moments. You know, we know Cynthia's moments, like we know her moments when she is red, when she's been shady. So she has them. I don't think it's. I mean, maybe season 7 we said backbone. About like season 8, 9, 10. She just kind of flip flopped. She went backing up and down, backing up and down. And I feel like we would have got more of Scent had Kenya not been around, but it just kind of forced her to go back into that submissive role of a friend like she was with Nene. So I don't know. With Kenya, because I mean Kenya and Nene ain't too far from each other, huh? They about the same person in terms of how they are they friends. But I enjoy Nene better. And you like Kenya. Hey, Cara. Well, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you on the next one. Okay.
Yes.
Bye, Kyra.
All right. Is there anything else y'all wanted to touch on before we laid out? I think that was everything. No?
It was fun. If you guys
we come back at Thursday.
This is a funny show.
Huh?
We coming back here Thursday?
We gotta see.
We're gonna have to do a 2-for-1 next week or something. We gotta figure it out.
Probably.
That might be good because then the week after that is the finale. So
yeah, and I was gonna say I didn't get a reunion. They did not get no damn reunion, child.
They need one. I would love it like a 1 episode reunion.
Child, you know Bravo gonna make it a 10 episode reunion. You know they're gonna be in a 1 episode. So I don't know. We'll see. As far as the next one, it does come out on Thursday, but you know, I don't know if Thursday will work for us. So we'll see. Check the channel for announcements, and then we will see y'all. What is it? We see y'all on the next one. Okay. Again, watch Potomac if you ain't watched it already. Salt Lake City will now be on Mondays. Orange County, Miami, Portia Show. Don't know yet, but we'll see. Maybe Portia Show. When I talked about Portia Show on Monday, people was like, So
I'm with the people.
I think the show is interesting.
It would have been a great storyline for Housewives of Atlanta.
It would have been. I don't like that it's separate, but hey, that's what she chose to do. So we'll see, where we land. But of course, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, do all things to support. You can find Sammy on Instagram, Chase on Instagram. Find Danny too. Danny was here. Danny could be on the chat, but I'm sorry, Danny could be on the screen, but he was in the chat. And of course, me at Super Wild Tez. Y'all have a good rest of y'all lovely Tuesday, and we will see y'all on the next one. All right. Good night.